So this kind of direction, and we're hoping that some more of that kind of stuff will continue to happen. The new direction has us asking some questions like, what is our purpose as God's people in this community? We've spent a lot of time over the years on our own maintenance and trying to sort those things out, and that's important. But I think some of the wider questions, thinking back to Acts chapter 1, the thinking outward, are some of the questions we want to ask now. There's a blog that I think I read through Jared Woodward. I think he's out in Los Angeles, but it wrote some ideas of what it means to be missional as a congregation. And read through this a couple years ago, and some of the things that he had been writing about were some things that really, I think, very similar to the direction that we're trying to go in. And they're perspectives that help us think about what our goals should be, how our goals may need to change, and maybe how our methods may need to change as well if we're going to be more conducive to mission and really connect to the community around us. And what I like about the goals is that it really gets us thinking about the mission first. So one of them is we want to think about not just how many people come to our church services, but how many people our church is serving. And that's a pretty big change probably for most traditional churches. It's easy to become focused on numbers, and I can't say that we're still not thinking about that. We do think about numbers to some extent. We need to. Our numbers have been declining, but we can begin to look at numbers in a new way and start thinking about how we can be out serving. It might draw new people to the church. It may not. If anything else, it does get us connecting or reconnecting with our community. Where our church is located is still, it's considered Quakertown, but we are 3.5 miles outside of town, and we're still surrounded by farmland. It's still in the mindset of a lot of people. If you're driving by and looked at our church, you would think it's a rural church, but there is this pretty large community right outside, and we need to connect with that. Some of the other goals, we want to think about how many people we've equipped for ministry. And to me, I've become more and more aware of how important and how vital this would be as a goal. It's easy to focus on the numbers and attendance, but maybe a better way to gauge how we're doing is to consider how many of our members are active in ministry. So we want to encourage and equip on a regular basis, and I as a pastor need to remember this as well. Remembering I don't need to do all of these things or all these aspects of ministry. There's a number of people here that could be doing this, and so I think it's not only a congregational mindset. For me, it's been a mindset of, I was trained to do some of these things, but I need to remember, I need to be training people and equipping others to be a part of the mission. Just remembering, if we are a follower of Jesus, we are in mission. There's not we don't have a choice there. So one of the things we're trying to do is equip, at least practically now, is to include many more people in our aspects of leading worship. And even elements like pastoral prayers and sermons are things that are in play now. And we're hoping to see some more participation in those kind of things.